Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to the finale of the regular season of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, race number 26. I am Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. ThrashManiac99, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Southern 500 presented by Bojangles here at Darlington Raceway as we are getting set for 56 laps of racing here at the Lady in Black. And this race is hugely important because this is the last race of the regular season, meaning this is the cutoff race to determine who's going to make this season's chase. And speaking of that, let's take a look and see how that would look if the chase were to start now. So after last week at Atlanta, Joshua Sekuli leads the points by 9 points over Dylan Young. Third, William Brock. Fourth, Rafael LeDuc. Fifth, Dylan Poteet. Sixth, Kyle Matthews. Seventh, James McLeod. Eighth, Sean Galligan. Ninth, Tim Fiegel. 10th, Chris Dollarton. 11th, Zach Flickinger. And 12th, the Danger Zone line is to James Quall. So, some of the scenarios and also the wildcard drivers currently are Dylan Jacobs, who has 2 wins outside the top 12 in the top 30 in points, and Johnny Gardner for being the highest outside the top 12 in the top 30 in points with 1 win. But there are still plenty of other drivers still in the hunt to either get a win and surpass Johnny Gardner in the standings, or even James Qualls in the standings to get a wild card spot, or some drivers outside the top 12 with a W could get their second win to put their name in the hat for a wild card spot, and even some drivers who have a win or not that are just at least 25 to 30 points out of the top 12 that could get a great finish tonight and hope that the guys in the top 12 in points have a bad night and they could get in via points. So, plenty of stuff can happen here tonight. But let's take a look at the starting lineup. Starting in the last row is Tim Fiegel and Preston Plord. But the top 10 in the lineup for the race tonight, James Qualls, that Danger Zone driver, 12th in points, is on the pole for tonight. Starting next to him is Devin Becker. Row 2 is Seth Cole, Jake Baskinger. Row 3, Carson Gumman, the points leader and one of the first drivers, along with Dylan Young, that are all automatically locked into the chase as of last week at Atlanta. Row 4, Peachy London, James McLeod, and then row 5, Dylan Thoreau and Cody Smart. But let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Southern 500 at Darlington.
Drivers, start your engines.
Thank you, Ellen DeGeneres, for the command there. But yes, this is going to be an intense race, not only because the track itself, the Lady in Black, being one of the tracks too tough to tame, and also home of the Darlington Stripe, where if you're on the outside lane so high up against the wall, you might end up touching the wall a little bit and getting marks on the right side of your car. But it's also going to be very competitive and aggressive because of the mere fact a lot of drivers are going to try to race as hard as they can to get themselves either a wild card spot for the chase or to get into the top 12 in the point standings to make the chase. But the pace car has pulled into pit road, so you know what time it is. It is time to boogity, 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 go racing. Qualls leads the first lap, which is very important for bonus points purposes. Not only did he already get bonus points for getting the pole, but he'll also get that extra bonus point for leading a lap. Now, the point system itself is going to change slightly for next season in Season 5, with more of an advantage if you win a race and qualify well, just to give some sort of incentive towards these drivers qualifying well and earning extra points to get an advantage. But also, the chase will return. However, we're going back to just the top 10 in the point standings. No top 12 with 2 wildcards. We're going to stick back to just the top 10 in points making the chase starting in Season 5. Basically, we try and experiment with different point system to see what actually works here for this series. So you never know, perhaps Season 6 we could go to the system where there's no chase and the person with the most points wins the championship. You never know what could happen. But as far as I know, Season 5 won't happen at least until around October time. Also the same with the Amazon Prime Truck Series and the Domino's NXT Series making a revamped return starting from scratch, fresh, because of the fact that we're cutting this Marvel Studios Cup field down to 40 drivers next season. We got a lot of extra drivers that are going to be left out of a ride, so what we're going to do is give those people a chance to earn their place in a different series, whether it be Domino's NXT or Amazon Prime Trucks, whenever we get to the sign-ups for those series, which won't happen for another couple of months, but details will be unveiled hopefully in the coming weeks. But nonetheless, back to the action here on the racetrack. James Qualls has led every lap so far. However, excuse me, I forgot to mute the microphone there. But it seems like the top 8 or so are all within about a second of each other in this pack, so the racing's about to get a little more intense, as you can tell. Pichu London going underneath for second underneath of McLeod, and up goes Pichu London to the second spot, and now Dylan Thoreau's going to get a run underneath for third underneath McLeod. Dylan Thoreau, he comes into this race 17th in the points, and he comes in 16 points out of the top 12, but that 12th driver in points, McQualls, is still up here at the front of the field, but Pichu London's doing all he can to try and figure out a way to get around the 70 for the lead. as we see the top two kind of pulling away from everyone else in this pack as they are getting really racy, and Pichu London sort of lost a little bit of time to the 70. I don't know if he tried to go for a move and it just didn't work, or the 70 car is just too good up at the front of the field with that clean air helping him. Whatever the case may be, Qual still hangs on. And then we got a couple affiliate teammates kind of right by each other, Matt Haas and Seth Cole. Matt Haas from Furniture Row Racing, Seth Cole, Backmarker Motorsports, but kind of a collaboration together between the two teams. Probably the only true affiliates of teams in this series is Backmarker Motorsports and Furniture Row Racing. So it's like they're teammates essentially, but under different team names. As we look back here at the big pack of cars from 9th on back, Trent Dunham currently running in 9th, and then the points leader, Joshua Sekuli, hanging on in 10th. As I'm looking around for any notable drivers, there's Rafael Leduc, who came in 4th in points. Kind of having a mediocre run right now, and then there's the #1 wildcard seed right now, Dylan Jacobs. He's starting to move up through the field just a little bit. Dylan Young, 2nd in points. He's already locked into the chase via points, so he's got virtually nothing to worry about. Chris Dollarton, on the other hand, I saw him running in 9th at one point. Now he's fallen back to 23rd. Not good, considering he's not far ahead of 12th in points. Even a couple other drivers either in the top 12 or outside trying to look in, like Matt McIntyre, the defending series champion. He came into this race 9 points out of the top 12. And then you got Kyle Matthews, who comes into this race 6th in the point standings, but he's only 22 points ahead of 12. But there is a lot of shuffling going on throughout the field, but here in a couple of laps we will go to our first commercial break. But look at this single file train from Trent Dunham on back to Cody Smart, and then it's side by side between Charles Sanford and Dylan Jacobs for the, looks like the 17th spot according to scoring. Now let's get back up here to the front as James Qualls continues to lead the way, but we will be going to our first commercial break once we cross the line here. So stick around, live action will happen on the bottom of your screen, but we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back. God, I could really use some good quality entertainment, but all I got's $40. So what the hell am I going to do? Who the fuck are you? Shut up! I'm King Fat, you stupid idiot! And since I heard your complaints that you're looking for some quality entertainment for a value of $40 or under, how about some good old-fashioned Zev Bellringer porn? I said shut up! Anyways, if you go to clipsforsale.com/75701, you can get plenty of good quality porn from the greatest porn star to ever live. Also happens to be my queen. You can get masturbation tutorials, you can get home wrecker videos, you can get all kinds of stuff. So what do you say? I said, what do you say? I don't know what to say to you. Didn't I tell you to shut up? If you want to see some classic Zev Bellringer porn, go to either clipsforsale.com/75701 or the easier link of ZevBellringerporn.com. Trust me, you'll thank me later. That is ZevBellringerporn.com or clipsforsale.com/75701. I've got fucking Chinese food! I can't even open it! Look at this Chinese food! Look at this Chinese food! Oh! I'm gonna eat it! Look at this! You've got lo mein noodles, you've got onions, you've got carrots, cabbage. And you also have General Tao chicken pieces. I think Chinese food, the best a man or woman can get. Welcome back to live action here at Darlington for the Southern 500 presented by Bojangles. And James Qualls, ever since the drop of the green flag, he has not been able to be passed by anybody. The closest driver to him currently is Matt Haas, who just took second away from Pichu London. In fact, Pichu London's losing a ton of ground right now. Now, I'm going to look around to see if anybody is elected to come into pit road yet, because we are probably getting to that, close to that point where these drivers are going to have to come into pit road to top off on fuel and get fresh tires. But if they're able to pit past lap 28 and 29, which is the halfway point, then they should be good to go on gas for pretty much the rest of the race. Right now, the top three are starting to break away from Johnny Gardner, who currently, coming into this race, was the number 2 wildcard driver for having one win inside the top 30, outside the top 12 in points. He was 14th coming into this race, but if he could somehow find himself in the top 12 in points after this race, that'll open the door for some drivers to get a wildcard spot. Or let's see where Zach Flickinger is currently running. 11th, so he'd probably most likely still be top 12 after this. So if Johnny Gardner still finishes out strong and somebody else manages to get up there into that second wildcard spot, that will be really beneficial for some people. Say like Seth Cole could end up taking that spot. Could be somebody else that wins, like Jessica Shelton or DJ Curtis. There's plenty of drivers that still have a chance to make something happen to get themselves into the chase. And pit stops have begun. And James Qualls leads the first group of cars. But a good chunk of drivers elected to stay out. The one thing I would not, or the one thing that these drivers definitely don't want, is a caution to come out. Because if they end up getting caught a lap down when the caution comes out, they're going to be virtually out of contention for this race. But it sounds like pretty much everybody else is all coming in at the same time. Although I do hear some engines revving on the racetrack, like as if there's still some drivers running. But I guess not. So 2 different groups coming in. And oh, it's going to be close, but Matt Haas gets out of the pits ahead of James Qualls. That is a huge game changer for this race. Matt Haas has managed to beat out James Qualls to get to be the first driver of that first group of cars to come out of the pits. But you still got this second group, the bigger group that was led by Alex Gray. But it's going to be Pichu London who gets out first out of those drivers. But it's side by side for lead, and now James Qualls takes the lead back. Somehow he managed to get a big run on Matt Haas. It's a shame I missed it, but he manages to get the lead back. And now Seth Cole, who is one of those guys in the hunt on the bubble for the chase, he now moves up to second. But what he definitely wants is to try and get to the lead and win this race so he can perhaps get an almost guaranteed wild card spot for the chase. Right now he's still in the hunt for the wild card, depending on where the 49 of Flickinger is. Let's see where he's at in comparison to everyone else. Looks like last scored 10th, so he's still running fairly strong. And right in front of him, a couple of drivers battling, Jake Baskinger and his teammate Alex Gray, the rookie in the number 50. So NOS Energy Racing having a solid performance today. Both of their drivers in the top 10 right now. But here comes Charles Sanford looking to spoil that party a little bit, as I accidentally hit the wrong button. But now the top 4 are battling up here. Qualls, Cole, Haas, and Gardner. And 3 out of these 4 are drivers in the hunt for the chase. Matt Haas is essentially out of the hunt, pretty much. Because after all, he's 30th in points. And I don't see him getting a wild card spot because Dylan Jacobs too far ahead of him in points, as well as a lot of other people. But now Johnny Gardner moves up to 3rd, so that definitely is going to help his chances out of getting into the top 12 in points and open up a spot for the wild card. But you gotta wonder, will these leaders end up catching Joshua Collard and Preston Plord, among others, and make it an interesting situation for these leaders to try and get a way around, or find a way around, lapped cars. And maybe if they get held up enough, it could bring guys like Peachy London, Dylan Thoreau, and James McLeod up into the picture. Though highly unlikely, it could happen. But right now, pretty much a 3-car fight right now up here at the front of the field, with James Qualls, who has dominated 97% of this race from the pole. Seth Cole, who is working on trying to either maintain where he is in hopes that Johnny Gardner gets into the top 12 in points so he could be the wild card driver, or to go by James Qualls and get the guaranteed wild card spot. Either way, a lot of interesting things going on right now, as the field is pretty much spread out all over the place as a result of those pit stops. And somehow Carson Gum is slipping way back. Way back. Oh, that would be because he's a lap down. Let's look at that. Yeah, we got 2 drivers a lap down, Carson Gum and Ashland Boyd, but we're going to real quick do a full field rundown before we get to our final commercial break. When we get to the line, it will be 17 to go. James Qualls is your race leader. 2nd is Seth Cole. 3rd, Johnny Gardner. 4th, Matt Haas. 5th, James McLeod. 6th is Dylan Thoreau. 7th, Peachy London. 8th, Jake Baskinger. 9th, Zach Flickinger. 10th, Alex Gray. 11th, Charles Sanford. 12th is Jackie Tang. 13th is Tim Fiegel. 14th, John Cittadino. 15th, Rafael Leduc. 16th, Joshua Sekuli. 17th is Dylan Jacobs. 18th, William Brock. 19th, Emmanuel Hardnett. 20th, Kyle Matthews. 21st is DJ Curtis, I want to say. Yes, it is. 22nd, Jay Jefferson. 23rd, Dorian Facepuncher. 24th, Dylan Young. 25th, Matt McIntyre. 26th, Dougie Shears. 27th, Chris Dollarton. 28th is Phil Parker. 29th, James Shelley. 30th currently is Joshua Michaels. 31st, Sean Galligan. 32nd, Anthony McCrory. 33rd, Cody Smart. 34th, Zachary Fitzwater. 35th, Devin Becker. 36th, Dylan Poteet. 37th, Trent Dunham. 38th, Jessica Sheldon. 39th, Preston Plord. 40th is Joshua Collard. We're going to take our final commercial break. We'll be right back, hopefully with about 10 laps to go. But stick around, live action will be on the bottom of your screen. Hey, Levi. Oh, hey, Your Highness. Are you checking out ZevBellringerPorn.com right now? Yeah, I was actually just about to check it out right now for myself. Alright, well, let me know when you're done, alright? Thank you. Alright, I'll see you later.
20 minutes later.
Hey, Levi, I was just coming to check... Okay. That is the biggest boner I've ever seen in my fucking life. And Jesus, your walls are wider than they normally are. Well, he's not gonna have any kids. What you gonna do? If you want to have a good time in your room at night, be sure to check out www.zevbellringerporn.com and also follow her on Twitter at @zev_bellringer. Trust me, you will thank me later.
This is hot.
Wake up, damn it! Wake up!
What the fuck? What the fuck? There's a fucking crack in the fucking ceiling of my room, and it's leaking blood. Are there a bunch of dead birds up there or something? Either way, I need to get this fixed. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there! Hey, can you fix this for me, please? I sure can. Just give me a second.
A few moments later.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Oh no, no, Dylan, don't you do it. Don't LePage the field. Please think about it. Think about your friends. Think about the other drivers in the field. You're probably gonna get them all to hate you and you won't be loved ever again. No, don't do it, Dylan. No! Why did you LePage the field, Dylan? Why? Why? Attention Marvel Studios Cup Series drivers. Do not LePage the field under any circumstances, otherwise everyone's gonna hate you. Hey, dramatic commercial sell, baby. Yes! Welcome back to live action here at the Southern 500 at Darlington with Leston. We're coming to 8 laps to go, and what an amazing triple threat battle we've got for the lead between 3 drivers trying to make the chase in a different way. Johnny Gardner, who came into this race 14th in points, came in only, to double check, only 6 points out of the 12th spot in points, and was the first driver with a wild card spot. Right now, he's trying to get himself into the top 12 in points, get his second win of the season to carry over to bonus points to get a tie for the number 1 seed in the chase. James Qualls either trying to get his second win to make sure he's in, or just stay in the top 12, and then Seth Cole trying to get in via wildcard spot, whether it be through the means of Johnny Gardner managing, he and Zach Flickinger managing to stay or get into the top 12 in points, and then he could overtake the second spot for the wild card to get in that way, either through winning this race or staying where he is in hopes that Gardner and Flickinger either get in the top 12 in points or stay in the top 12 in points. Because right now, according to scoring, Flickinger is running in 7th, however he's going to be moving up to 6th now as he goes on by Matt Haas. And now he's got 2 more cars ahead of him, and he could get up to 4th and make sure he's guaranteed in the chase. Although I still feel like he is virtually guaranteed in the chase no matter what. Battle on for 2nd, Seth Cole trying to go on by James Qualls. While it may be a bit of a heartbreak for James Qualls to not win this race, he's still got to be happy with his performance, and also, more likely than not, he will be able to make the chase this season. But we're coming to 4 laps to go at the line. 4 to go here in the Southern 500. James Qualls goes for a crossover, goes underneath Seth Cole for 2nd, but he really is one to try and reel in Johnny Gardner to try and take the lead back. Does he have enough time? I'd say he does. If he was able to get a big enough run like that around Seth Cole, he is closing in quickly on Gardner. And we are coming to 3 laps to go here at the line. Let's see if Qualls, it looks like he's going to be able to make the move. Down to the bottom, James Qualls going to retake the lead here at Darlington. And Gardner's also going to end up losing 2nd to Seth Cole right now. But Seth Cole's got that advantage of being on the bottom a little bit, trying to get some more air in the front end. But he's going to lay back in line behind Qualls for the time being. But still an incredible battle up here between the top 3, battling for the win. 2 laps to go here at Darlington in front of a packed crowd here in Darlington, South Carolina. Seth Cole may be looking for one final run to try and get around Qualls. Qualls, if he can, is he going to block him? Oh, he's not quite trying, but he's still going to hang on just barely to the lead. And the white flag is displayed here at Darlington for James Qualls. Johnny Gardner trying to take second back from Seth Cole. That might have just concluded the battle for the lead right there. Qualls, he's going to pull away now as a result. James Qualls started on the pole for this race, dominated 85% of this event. It's going to come out of turn 4, checkered flag, second win of the season. James Qualls wins the Southern 500 at Darlington. This has arguably got to be the biggest win in James Qualls' Marvel Studios Cup Series career, to win arguably the second biggest race of the season behind the Daytona 500, the Southern 500 at Darlington. What a performance by that 70 team, but he had to overcome quite a few drivers trying to steal the thunder away, but he comes through with his second win of the season and pretty much in the chase. But let's take a look at the rest of the results. Johnny Gardner with a great run in second. Will that be enough to get him in the top 12 in points and not take over a wild card spot? We'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out. Seth Cole with a great run in third. Could he have made the chase via a wild card spot if what I just said about Gardner is true? We'll have to wait and find out. Jake Baskinger with a solid performance in fourth. Zach Flickinger with a great run in fifth. That might have been enough to keep him in the top 12 in points and carry over the bonus points of his 2 wins. Peachy London with a solid performance in the 6th position. James McLeod, great run in 7th. That might have been enough to keep him in the top 12. Dylan Thoreau with a solid run in 8th. Great run in 9th for Matt Haas. And then rounding out the top 10, highest finishing rookie Alex Gray in the 50 car in the 10th spot. Rest of the top 20 was Jackie Tang, Emmanuel Hartnett, Tim Fiegel, DJ Curtis, Jay Jefferson, John Cittadino, Kyle Matthews, William Brock, Joshua Sekuli, Dylan Jacobs, who I still think is going to get a wild card spot regardless. Rest of the top 30, Rafael LeDuc, Charles Sanford, Dorian Facepuncher, Phil Parker, Dylan Young, Matt McIntyre, Dougie Shears, Chris Dollarton. Might have fallen out, we'll see. James Shelley, Joshua Michaels. Rest of the top 40 was Anthony McCurry, Dylan Poteach, Sean Galligan, Zachary Fitzwater, Devin Becker, Trent Dunham, Cody Smart, Jessica Shelton, Preston Plord, Joshua Collard, then 2 cars a lap down, Ashlyn Boyd and Carson Gum. Well, that does it for our coverage here at the Southern 500 at Darlington. Now the chase will begin. I believe the first race in the chase we're going to is back to Arizona Speedway. But until then, here are your results, regular points after this race, but you'll also see the chase points heading into Arizona, as well as rookie points, etc. But until we get to Arizona to start the chase, this is Levi McIntyre signing off.